Good morning, students. Welcome back to the next session of compiler construction. So, today we are going to see a conversion process on regular expression to deterministic finite automata. So, previously in the last two classes, I have covered a concept on regular expression as well as on DFA. Along with DFA, I also covered a process on NFA. So now the process is in a step by step which is used to convert from any, that means any regular expression, to finite automata. So the first step what we have to perform here is regular expressions. Using regular expression, first we need to convert into non-deterministic finite automata with epsilon moves. Okay, I'll let you know what is this epsilon moves. And the second part is using that epsilon moves, that is NFA, that is non-deterministic finite automata with epsilon moves. We have to convert that into without epsilon moves. It means a normal NFA. Okay, and using that NFA, we need to convert them into finally into DFA. So now the thing is that we need to know the difference between NFA with epsilon moves and NFA without epsilon moves. So if you know already, I have discussed NFA, right? Okay. So before I like to go with this process, first you need to understand about the process on NFA and DFA. Okay. As I already mentioned you that in deterministic finite automata, if you want to go from one state to another state, that means for a single input, for one input, you can only move from one state to another state. Only one state you can move from one state to another, only one input you can move from one state to another state in DFA. Whereas in NFA, the same input you can move towards multiple other states. Okay, like here, this is about A and this is my B. Okay, I'm just explaining you. For example, if if an input is there, so if it is 0 and if the same input 0, if it goes towards B, now this is your NFA. Why? Because the same input 0, it also points towards A, also it points towards B. That means the input 0 can move towards two states, I mean multiple states. So that's why it is NFA. But if the same thing, if I perform using DFA, what it should happen here is it will not behave in this way. Or else if I want to make an DFA example, like this is one input 0 and this is another input. So now you can see an input 0, upon receiving input 0, it will the state will change to A, the state will remain to A only. And in order to go out from one state to another state, that is if A receives an input 1, so it reaches to B. So you can see that there is no that means multiple states for a single input. That's why here it is DFA. Okay, this is DFA and this is NFA. Now what we have to learn here is we need to learn the concept on NFA with epsilon moves. Okay, so here, as I already explained you in NFA, that the transition function in NFA will be in this way. What is that? Delta q cross that alphabet, it will give you a power of 2 to the power of q states, right? Yesterday I explained in the last session I explained about that if we have two two inputs, then it will give you 4 states. So like that, if it is 3, it will give you as 8. So in that sense it is giving. Okay, this is NFA without epsilon means normal NFA. But NFA with epsilon moves means along with the alphabet we are performing operation of union. We are performing operation of union with epsilon. That means every state it is connected with epsilon. That means the transition, that means if you are moving from A to B, okay, if you are moving from A to B, that means either by any sort of operations there will be an epsilon transition as well. So anyhow, that we will be seeing with an example here. And the process to convert this NFA with epsilon moves into NFA without epsilon moves is you can perform through epsilon closure. Okay, so first we will see, for example, the basic regular expression. If a regular expression R, consider this is a regular expression R, if it has an epsilon value, simply it has an epsilon value, then the finite automata will be as simple as that one, because here there is no value and this is what your final state as well, and this is what your initial state. Okay, and if for example if R is equal to 5, right, that means there is no value here. Okay, it's an empty one. So that's why you can have the finite automata in this way. This is just to describe you the basic simple representation of finite automata for the given regular expression R is equal to pi. Similarly, if I take the other example, if you take a regular expression A, just an expression called A, here it is. Okay, now what happens here is, it is upon receiving an input A, the state changes to another state. Okay, and this state is your final state. Because why I am taking this as final state, because if it is final state, then only the string will be a valid string, because whenever any string is there, okay, which satisfy regular expression should reach to the final state, then only it is valid one. Okay, this is very simple. But now the differences will come here. If you take concatenation, okay, concatenation means this one. Okay, A, B, simply you can concatenated means B will be concatenated with A, that means A, B will be there beside A. So normally in this scenario, from this scenario, what we are seeing here is without epsilon moves. Okay, what is this I am taking here? Without epsilon moves, and this is with moves, that means with epsilon moves. Okay, for example, if I am taking without epsilon moves, how can I take A, B? Means it is concatenation, means directly attached, that means it's a sequence. That's why what happens here, this is I am taking as initial state, okay, and this is an intermediate state which connects A with B. Okay, concatenation means connection, so it will be like a sequential process, and here this is what my final state. But this is how without epsilon moves. But now if I take with epsilon moves, so look this figure carefully, you will come to know. For example, A is there and B is there, both are two different values, I mean both are two different inputs. So now for first input I am taking as M1, for this first input I am taking as M1 and second I am taking as M2. Now when for first input M, directly as we have seen here, if we just have only single input, it will go in that way, right? So here also it is going in this way M, but the other input is what? B. So now M2 is what? B. So in order to connect M1 and M2 in with epsilon moves, there is an epsilon transition. Okay, there is an epsilon transition. Okay, so that is how we can represent with epsilon moves. So we need to see all of this, because whenever we are taking a regular expression, in order to convert that regular expression into NFA with epsilon moves, we need to take all these cases into consideration. That's why I'm giving you an example for each of these cases. Now the next is union operation. Okay, so this is how something, you know, A plus B means it is union operation, or you can call as A or B. You can call as A or B, right? So that's why if you see carefully the first diagram in this one, what happened here is this is without epsilon moves. Okay, so what is this without epsilon moves? How it is going here is, this is the initial state. Either the input it receives as A, or either it receives an input B in order to reach to the final state. So that is why here there are two states. The first is either A or else B. So it reaches to the final state. So in this way the union operation will be taken, and this finite automata is an example for without epsilon moves. Now if I am taking with epsilon moves, how should I take now? See, or means here there are two cases, either you have to take A or else B. Or means union operation. So now what we am taking here is, I am taking one state and I am taking a value A. Generally a value A will be connected with two states. Okay, so this is my A, which is connected with Q1 and Q2, and again here this is what B, which is M2 again. So here M1 and this is M2. So here it is connected like that, but this is OR operation, I mean plus operation, I mean union operation. That is why either from this state, that is which is the initial state, this is my initial state. So for this is from this state I should go to A or else I should go to B. So I am going in any of this direction. Then again every state should be terminated with the final state. So it has now if it is taking A also, it should reach to final state. If it is reaching B also, it should reach to final state. So in this way I am taking a finite automata with epsilon moves. This is with epsilon moves for union operation. The next case is closure operation. So here closure operation or clean star closure or clean closure. So here I am taking what? A single input, and that means closure means repetition. Remember, closure means repetition. So when it is repeating, how it is repeating? In a simple way, if I am taking without epsilon moves, right? Without epsilon moves, what happen here is directly this is my initial state, this is my final state, and A is repeating. That means what the sequence pattern it follows, as it is A star, that means what it follows, either epsilon, okay, either A or AA or AAA, so on, like that it follows. This type of pattern it follows by A star, I mean A closure, A repetition. Okay, these strings will be validated by this finite automata, but this is without epsilon moves. Now if the same thing if I am taking with epsilon moves, so how should I take now? I have to take, the first thing is that what is the first value? A only. So just this is M1 means A here. So now A is connected with two states, and you know that it is repeating, right? So that is why repeating means here I have to take in this way, epsilon, okay, going from this to this location, and again from Q0 to this Q4. Why I am taking this one, this state? Because the first value is epsilon. If I don't want to take A, right, if I don't want to take A, then this will be performed, right? If I am taking A, for example, if I am taking A means it will perform Q from here to here, Q0 to Q1, Q1 to Q2, then again it goes to the final state. If it is AA, for example, if it is AA, how it performs? First it goes towards A, then again it repeats here. So how it happens here is, epsilon means it will take this way, first one, The second one is this A. So this A means directly Q0, Q1, this A will be taken here directly because it is not repeating. When it is AA, what happens? It goes from here to here, A, then this will be repeating again, right? So this is will be repeating, and again second time A will be repeated. So like that, if suppose 3 times means one time here, again 2 times it get repeated, and it reaches to the destination state, that is final state. Okay. So in this way you have to take what? Closure property. Now what we have to do is, the next thing is, we have to take an example here. What is the example here? The example here is, okay, 0 1 star plus 1. Okay. Now we'll be seeing here with that how we are constructing. So if you see now in the expression, first is what? Plus. Here if you see there, this is plus. Okay. So I am making this as one entity, I am making this as one part, and I am performing plus, that means union operation. So if you go back to union, how this union works with epsilon moves. So this is how something I have to work with epsilon moves here. So here M1 will be what? What will be the M1 value? That 0 1 star, and M2 will be what? 1. Okay. Now that means first I'm converting this value into NFA with epsilon moves. So here the first part here is 0 1 star plus 1, right? So now if you see, what is going to happen here is Q0, then again if you see that one, you will come to know. This is Q1, and this is, for example, this is Q2. Okay. Now what we are taking here is, this is epsilon moves and this is epsilon moves. First what I am doing here is I am performing union operation, means I am dividing. M1 is now what? This is what? Q3, and now this is Q4. Okay. So here this is M1 value is 0 1 closure, and here M2 value is 1. Now again epsilon moves, so Q5, any name you can give to the states, epsilon, epsilon, and again finally it is your the final state, right? So in this way, this is how the first part we did. Now in this one you can see 0 concatenation 1 asterisk. What is this? 0 1 asterisk. That means here concatenation symbol will be there. So for concatenation, this is for the concatenation process. Okay. So if you see here in concatenation how this M1 M2 it works here. So the same thing we are applying here. Now we are taking another one. Here I am taking Q0. Okay. Now that means I am now here I am working for this part. Okay. I have to expand this. So this is my Q1, let us assume here. Now if you see this union how it is expanding, it is taking that 0, then I'm changing the name, any name you can give, as I said, then epsilon should be there again, because in between 0 and concatenation epsilon should be there. So I am taking here, and this is about Q3. Then what is the next state here is 1, right? Then again what I am taking here is Q4. Okay, after taking Q4, what happens, I have did here. Now this part will be as like as that only. So here I am taking epsilon. Okay, again here also I am taking epsilon, and here I am taking the name Q5. Now here it is Q6 1, the same one I am taking here. Now what is that final state I have to take here? So I am taking Q7. Okay, so this is my Q7, and this is how it is reaching. So here it is also epsilon, here also it is epsilon. So what we have expanded? We have expanded this part, 0 concatenated 1 closure. So now what we need to expand here is, we need to expand this part, 1 closure. That means repetition. So repetition also I said you, right? How that repetition will be? In this way. Okay, repetition means closure. So this is how with epsilon moves, we have to move in this way. So if you see this one, you will get an idea. Okay. Now we are again using this, and we are again, what we are doing here is, we are expanding 1 closure with epsilon moves. So if you see this one, first the same thing we have to take here, but the 1 closure should be expanded. So here what I am taking here is, I am taking Q0, same thing, then Q1, okay, then again Q2, and this is Q3 till here it is 0, this is epsilon. Okay, now what we have to do here is, we need to expand this part, right? So how can we expand the part here? So 1 is there, so that means this value here I have to expand here, right? So that means like I'm taking here as, let us assume I'm taking epsilon, and I'm taking Q4, then I'm taking Q5, here it is 1. Okay, now it is repeating, right? It is repeating, and here then here it is Q6 with epsilon, and here if for example I said you that this is also epsilon, because now I am expanding 1 closure. So here Q6 I got, fine, then I am getting as Q7. Okay, now the same part, down part will be as it is. What is that? I can take something, I can take as Q8, what is with epsilon, and this is about, I am taking Q9 with 1 value, and here the same thing with epsilon moves. Okay, so in this way you can see here 0 Okay, and what is that our expression here is 0 1 closure plus 1. So 0 concatenation means sequence and 1 closure means this one, and again it is reaching to the final state. Okay, then plus 1 means union or operation. So here either 0 1 closure or else 1. So through 1 also it is reaching to the final state. So this is how the process of NFA with epsilon moves. Now this regular expression we converted as NFA with epsilon moves. Okay. Now what we have to do here is, this is the first procedure. So this is the first procedure. What is that first procedure is? We have converted it with that regular expression with into NFA with epsilon moves. Now we need to convert the NFA with epsilon moves to NFA without epsilon moves. So the process of converting this NFA with epsilon moves to NFA without epsilon moves is through epsilon closure. Okay. So anyhow, like this is how, not something we are discussing complete detail on automata, as this is just a small topic of your first unit. So I am not going much more depth on epsilon closure, but directly also you can convert regular expression into NFA without epsilon moves also, or with epsilon moves also. With epsilon moves to without epsilon moves you can also convert, like I will show you here. So for example, like we got this as what with epsilon moves. Now we need to convert this in without epsilon moves. So how we are converting? Just see here what is the procedure here is. First I am taking Q0, right? Now I shouldn't take epsilons here. So what is the next value here which I am taking here? What is that? Is Q1. That means now the 0 is there for Q1. So I am just taking here as Q1, right? And this you can say that what is that value which I am giving here? 0. Okay. Now it is going here with epsilon moves here, and it is providing what? 1 closure. So 1 closure means can I take for this another state? Yes, I can take here. So I am taking here 1 closure means like this. So what I am doing here is 1 I am repeating here. Now we need to see from this state, are we reaching to the final state? Yes, we are reaching. So you can directly make this as a final state. And as I said that this is 0 1 closure plus 1. So now this is union operation. Union means OR operation. So I can take 1 here, which, and 1, this one is connected to the final state. Yes, so I can directly connect to this final state by taking 1. Okay. So this is your NFA without epsilon moves, and this is NFA without epsilon moves. Okay. So it's very simple, like Q0 is there and this is Q1 means as a final state and it is repeating. So if you see 0 0, it is there here, initial state, and 1 closure. So this is 1 closure, and are you reaching to the final state? Yes, this is your final state. Then plus is there means another option here, 1. Either this you have to take or else this you have to take. So if it is 0, if not 1 means are you reaching to the final state? Yes. So now this is what your NFA. This is what your finite automata. Now the third step is using that finite automata that is if you got NFA, okay, if you got NFA here, what is going to happen here is, you need to convert that NFA into DFA, okay. And if you see this transition table of this, so you can get here is that, like from Q0, as you are going to Q1 with a single state with a different input value, and again with a different input value you are going to Q1, and from Q1 you are just going to Q1 only. So you can consider as DFA here, okay, directly it is considered as DFA. So in order not to have any confusion, simply you can say that you have converted finite automata. So finite automata means it can be either NFA or else it can be either DFA, okay. So that means you converted into finite automata. So like that the process is here. So if you see carefully here, first what we have taken here is, we have taken what? Union operation, okay. So union with epsilon moves, how we have did, then we have expanded this part, and here we expanded this part in the second diagram, and here again we need to expand this closure, and here we have expanded this one closure in this one, and finally we got this NFA with epsilon moves. So like that the things will be there here. So now the third step is, if you got NFA, we need to convert them into DFA, because our ultimate desired goal is to reach to DFA. And see here, there is one example, directly they have converted this one as into NFA without null transition. So you can see here one, okay, this is how, which operation you are performing here in between this concatenation of 0 plus 1, okay, closure and 0. So they have considered as into three parts. This is one part, this is another part, this is third part, and they perform epsilon moves how we have performed here in that which I shown this one. In this one the same thing you have to perform in that one, and finally like in short, if you will get this, then you will get in this way how you are getting as 1. Again epsilon you need to remove this, okay, with null transition. So you and you can see 0 plus 1 repeating. 0 plus 1 means 0 or 1. So closure means here it is repeating. That's why in this state this part is of 0 plus 1 closure. And concatenation, this is concatenation symbol. I mean it won't be represented as symbol here. Just we need to assume there's a concatenation here, and this is concatenated with epsilon, and again it is with, this is 0. So finally if you will get this, you will get in this way, okay. This is the complete one. So the same thing here it is, what is that? This is my 1, and this is, what is that? 0 plus 1, comma here is there means 0 plus 1, and it is closure means, that's why it is repeating here, and this is concatenation means beside this is 0. So in this way you will be getting, and you have to perform this through epsilon closure, okay, or else you can perform directly as well, okay. This is about what the process from converting from regular expression into NFA. Now the thing is that we need to convert NFA into DFA, okay. So in order to convert into NFA into DFA, first we need to know about what is NFA and DFA. So this concept of NFA and DFA we have already discussed in the previous class, okay. What is that here is, the both have the different states will be there. Here qx and here qy will be there, but alphabet will be the same. but transition function is here, that is delta x, and this is delta y. Transition function is also different here, and the initial state will be the same one, but the final state can get changed. That's why it is fx and this is fy. So it will be validated that the given NFA is equivalent to DFA if the language of this NFA should be equal to the language of DFA. That means ultimately what we are achieving from NFA, the same thing we need to achieve through DFA as well. That means, for example, like if they will say that the string should terminate with 1, okay, the string should terminate with 1. So at the end, if it is 1 in the final state, then only the string gets terminated, isn't it or not? Like here 0 plus 1, 0 plus 1, closure 1. That means finally the string is end with 1 only here. So the same language of NFA should not change the meaning in DFA as well. Of course, the procedure or the appearance looks different, but the meaning of obtaining the language should remain same. That's why L of y, the language of y, and y is associated with what? You know, it is associated with NFA, and this is associated with DFA. Okay? Or else if you take x as NDFA, that is NFA, and y as DFA, so the language should remain same. If that is the case, then it is valid. So now there is some procedure by which we need to convert a given NFA or NDFA into DFA. How we need to convert is, see here, whenever we got a transition graph, this is my transition graph. First, this is what is this? This is NFA, I mean NDFA, right? How? By because you are getting multiple, like you can have multiple states for a single input. Okay, if you can see 0, this 0 is what happened here is it is pointing towards Q0 also, and it is pointing towards Q1 also. That means that's why it is NFA or NDFA. Now first step is we need to draw the transition table. So we have drawn the transition table of the given NFA. Now using this transition table, we need to draw the transition table for DFA. So like for example, if I am taking here, what is the input? 0 and 1. What is the initial state is Q0. Now if you see Q0 is on the input 0, it is either going to Q0 or Q1, but this violates the property of DFA. So what we have to do here is Q0 and Q1 are two different states. So but DFA will accept only one state for a single input. Okay, so what we have to do here is, in order to solve this problem, we need to make Q0, Q1 as a single state. So what we are doing here is we are making Q0, Q1 as a single state. Now we are making Q0, Q1 as single state. So Q0, Q1 we have taken, that means it is valid. Okay, now this Q0, anyhow it is not violating, here it is violating, here it is not violating, so you can take directly as Q1. Okay, now this is Q0, Q1 is a single state. Okay, is a single state, and you can represent them also like in square brackets also, Q0 comma Q1, because if you take curly braces means it becomes as a set of states. So if you take in square brackets, so it becomes as a single state, or else you can simply represent in this way as well. So now Q0, Q1 is a single state. Now what we have to do here is we need to see now what are the remaining states are there. So the next state is Q1. So what is the next state is Q1. So we need to take the Q1 here. in Q1, now upon 0, that means if, it is not receiving any input 0, that's why it is 5 here. But for it receives, when Q1 receives an input 1, it goes either to Q0 or Q1. That means here also it is violating the property of DFA. So now instead of taking these two states, we can take the single state as Q0 Q1, so that the same value 1 can points to a single state Q0 Q1. Now what is that here is, are there any states available? See here, Q0 is there, Q1 already taken. Now the new state we have to see will be decided upon this states which have taken here. So what is this Q0 Q1? So we are taking a new state Q0 Q1 as a new state. So if I take Q0 Q1, now how should I calculate the value of when it reaches to input 0 or when it reaches to 1? We need to perform union operation on Q0 and Q1 for input 0. So when I perform union operation of Q0 to Q1, as Q1 is pi, so simply I can write as, if I perform union operation on Q0 Q1, so I can write this is a single state, so Q0 Q1. Okay, and here also Q0 Q1, here also I should perform union operation. So when I am perform union operation, what I will get again? Q0 Q1, same. This is a single state, this is also single state, this is also single state. So now which is the final state here? Previously if you see, Q1 is the final state. Now you need to make Q1 as final state. Also the Q1 is where it is related with the other state, that means here Q1 is there along with Q0, so we need to make this also as a final state. So that's why there are two final states here now, and there is a single state, initial state. So using this transition table, again we need to draw a DFA. So if you see this, the same thing which I have did here, it is performing. Now you can see the Q0 Q1 is a single state, Q0 Q1 is a single state, this is also single state, this is pi, this is single state, and this is, anyhow this is single state only. So how many final states we got? This as final state and this as another final state, and this is my initial state. So you can see here the same thing what I said you, I mentioned over there, the same thing reflected here. And this is a transition table for the given DFA, okay, for the DFA which we need. Now using this transition table, we need to draw a transition graph. So now this is a transition graph here. As I said, Q0, this is my initial state, and these are two final states, Q0 Q1, and Q1 is also my final state. Remember, this is your single state, okay. What is this? Single state. It is not a combination of two states, it's just a single state. So if you see this Q0, upon receiving input 0, it can goes to Q0 Q1, so it is going in this manner, okay. Now upon receiving input 1, it is going towards K1 in this way, here it is, and Q1 there is no input 0, so there is no input 0 here, just it gives input 1 to this state. So the 1 means it gives to this state, and Q0 Q1, upon receiving input 0 or 1, it reaches to the same state, that's why here it is repeating. So 0 or 1, 0 or 1, right. So this is regarding what? A DFA. Okay. Now there is another example here. In this example also what we have to do here is we need to we need to perform the process so that the given NFA should convert into DFA. Now the given NFA, how it should be going to be get converted? So here if you see now, first I will be taking a transition, what I am doing here is I am taking a transition table. So I am taking 0 and 1, and here this is Q0, Q1 and A, and Q0 is my initial state and A is my final state. Okay. Now Q0, there is no input of 0, so I am just writing here as pi. Now Q0 upon receiving input 1, it reaches to Q2, so that's why only one state is there, Q2. Okay. Now again if you go with what is there here, Q1 is not there, sorry, it's Q2, so I'm just putting as Q2 here. So Q2, and in Q2 if you see now, it is repeating what? 0. 0 means it is repeating to itself, and also it is going towards A. So there are two states here, that's why it is NFA now. What is that? Q2 comma A. And this Q2, upon receiving input 1, it will go to the same state, that's why here also I am taking Q2. And here if you go with A, what is that? There is no input it receives, so pi, and here also it is pi. Now what we got, this is my transition table. What I got this now? Transition table. So using this transition table, what I should do? I have to convert, now this is my transition table, I have to convert this as into DFA. So I am here only taking so that you can understand easily. So I am taking 0 and 1. First thing is we have to see now Q0 initially. So it is pi only, and here it is single state, means it is not violating, right? Now when it is Q2, okay, when it is Q2, it is violating here. Where it is? Here it is violating. So what we are doing here is we are making them as a single state. So Q2, then what is the next state? I have to take here A. Okay. So what I am taking here is I am taking A in this manner. Okay. I am making this a single state. Okay. So this single state I can represent as in a square bracket. Now this Q2A is a single state. Remember I am writing here is a single state. Now Q2 is pointing towards that one, and here it is not violating, right? Here it is not violating, simply I am taking here as Q2 only. Now what is the next state I am taking here? What is the next state? A. But what is going to happen here is this A, here it is I am taking A here, but this you have to take, you shouldn't take in this way. The next state will be decided by this one. In Q0, what is the next state? The available state here Q2, so I have taken as Q2 here. And what is the next state which I can take here? Q2A, because Q2 is already visited, so I have to take the next state as Q2A as a single state. I shouldn't take A here, because if this A is available here, then only I should take A here. But now Q0, I have taken Q2 initially because this is the initial state. So Q2 I have taken here. Now Q2A, Q2 is already completed. So Q2A is remained here. So when I am taking Q2A, So in Q2A, what is going to happen? I have to perform the union operation. Okay, I have to perform the union operation on Q2 and A. So if you perform the union operation on this one, in this one, which one? This, I'm performing union operation here. So simply I can write here as Q2A as a single state only, remember. Okay, as a single state only I am writing here. Okay, this is my single state. Now what is the next state? What should I take here further? Q2A. A here is 5. Now I have to perform the union operation on this one. So Q2 and 5. Union operation means simply Q2 only. So here I am writing as Q2. Now what was the final state here? The final state was on A. But the A is not there here, right, in this one. But A is associated with Q2. So you can make this as a final state. What you can make this as a final state. Okay. So using this, now this is my transition table for DFA. What is this transition table is for? DFA. Now this, using this transition table, I can draw a DFA. Okay, I can draw what? DFA. So in that way, like if I'll draw DFA, what will going to happen? What are the states are available? Like if I'll take here as Q0, and here it is, what is the next state is, Q2 is there. I'm just taking here as Q2A because this is final state. Okay, and this is I'm taking as Q2 here. Now this is my initial state, and 5 means 0 will not be going there, so just it is going 1, so it means it is going here 1. And if you go to Q2, in Q2 it is going for 0 and 1 both. That means here it is going for 0. Okay, when it is 0, it is going towards this one, and when it is 1, means it is repeating to itself. So here it is repeating. Okay, here it is repeating. And what is going to happen? Q2A, and this is for final state. So in Q2A, 0 means it is repeating to itself. So that's why here it is 0, and when it is 1, it is going to Q2. That means here you have to take in this way. Okay, when it is 1, it is going in this way. Now this is what we obtained as DFA for the given NFA or NDFA. Okay, this is 1, this is 0, this is 1 self-repeating, and this is also self-repeating 0. This is my initial state and this is my final state. Okay, so in this way the process works here. So finally, if I'll just roll back to the complete lecture, what the process we are discussed here is, the first thing what we have discussed regarding the conversion process is, basically we are taking input as a regular expression and we are making that regular expression into deterministic finite automata. So in order to perform this process, there are 3 steps here. The first is we need to convert NFA in with epsilon moves, and that NFA with epsilon moves should be converted into NFA without epsilon moves, and the process of converting them is performed through epsilon closure. And after epsilon closure, what the NFA we got, in the third step we need to convert into NFA into DFA. Okay, so as I said already that what is NFA and what is DFA, okay, the differences also I said. So, and also NFA with epsilon moves and NFA without epsilon moves, also there is a difference. If you see in the transition function, that means for every symbol set, a union operation is associated, a epsilon operation is associated with through union operation. The number of states will be the same, but the epsilon moves also been performed union operation with the symbol set in this factor. Now we have taken some basic examples of regular expression, that how it has get converted into finite automata, and also we have seen without epsilon moves how it works and with epsilon moves how it works. We have seen concatenation, union and closure operation, and all of these operations can be used for complex regular expression. So we have taken this example 0 1 star, I mean 0 1 closure plus 1, and here we have performed this process. Okay, initially we have taken this process, then again we have performed first this union operation here with epsilon moves, then again we perform concatenation in the second step, and in the third step we perform for one closure, and finally we got, what is that, an NFA with epsilon moves. Now this NFA with epsilon move directly also you can convert into finite automata by this simple technique, but you can also perform this as with epsilon closure as well. Okay, so another example is also there, that how it is distributing. That means the given regular expression, what is this regular expression 1, and this one is how it is how it is expanding, and this is the process by which we have seen this we got NFA here without epsilon moves, and this NFA without epsilon moves can be used to convert into DFA. So for the same example here, this is the process, but I explained the procedure here. So the same thing which I said here, the same process I have converted into DFA. First I have to convert into transition table of NFA, then we need to convert into DFA transition table, and using that DFA transition table I need to convert into transition graph of DFA. So in this way the process performed. Okay, with this I conclude this session and I will complete this today's class. Thank you.